the left party of the speaking to allow me to speak for the democracy and the political activists in mainland China. Life is full of coincidence. Last year, I was in Oslo to attend to the ceremony of the Nobel Peace Prize. I stood outside of the ceremony in support of Mr. Liu Xiaobo. It was freezing cold. Yesterday, I arrived here. It was also freezing cold. I came here in support of unsung activist, Mr. Zhang. It reminds me also about 30 years ago. I faced the same situation. I witnessed the same situation as Mr. Zhang and Mr. Liu. At that time, I was a member of a political group in Hong Kong. And my comrade, Mr. Wu Zhongxian, went to China in connection with the activists at that time in the Beijing Spring, the democracy war movement. He was arrested. At that time, there was no state security bureau, but there are secret police. There were secret police, namely the public security police. And they did the same thing. They detained Wu Zhongxian for a few days, threatened him. He needs to face long-term imprisonment sentence in a secret trial. And a few days later, unfortunately, Mr. Wu Zhongxian defected and confessed. And then he was recruited as a spy to go back to Hong Kong in order to provide information and intelligence about our group. The group of the name is a Revolutionary Marxist League at that time. So there was nothing new. There is nothing new. There will be nothing new, according to the practice of the terror of the terrorists of the communist regime. And after a few months, another comrade of mine, Mr. Liu Shanqing, went back to China in the same year. I think it's in December in 1981, he was arrested. And he didn't cooperate, he didn't confess, he didn't defeat himself to the secret police. He got 10 years imprisonment. He was released in 1991. He was once the most prominent political prisoners in China. He was named by the AI in 1982 to be the prisoners of conscience at that time. Life is full of coincidence. I came here after 30 years. I faced the same case. Some might defeat themselves, some may confess, some may cooperate, some may not. Life is full of this kind of incident and accident. I come here to say that I think I heard about that, I learned about that. There was 2 Swedish journalists was arrested in Ethiopia. Those of 2 journalists, they did nothing wrong. They are just exercised their right of expression, to provide free press to the public. Now they may need to stay behind bars for 11 years. So that's no strange for the Swedish community to appeal for his freedom. My argument is very simple. Mr. Zhang is here. If he will be deported back to China, he will face the same fate as those two Swedish journalists. So I need to urge the Swedish government or the Swedish Parliament to give pardons to Mr. Zhang, since I think he might need to seek the political asylum or delay his status as a tourist here. But I think he needs to be taken care of. Human right is a universal right. No matter you live on that side of the group or the other side of the group, no matter you live in the Nordic country or you live in an exotic country, we are all human beings. No matter you uphold the idea of socialism or you uphold the idea of capitalism, you should enjoy the basic right, the fundamental right. So, in my own opinion, Mr. Zhang is just one of the victims of the acceleration of the repression in China. Let me give you some examples. According to the media, the Chinese government spent more money for the internal security than to building up the army to protect the sovereignty of PRC. So they use more money to suppress their own people instead of defending their own territory. Let me remind you of all. Since the Jasmine revolutions emerged in the North Africa and Middle East, there are enormous activists were arrested by the Chinese authority, just like the wife of Mr. Liu Xiaobo. It's not even under house arrest. They were detained in a small hotel in somewhere you can never find. You can never find in a Google map. They were tortured, harassed, threatened. So, I mean, we are talking about free press. I think the Chinese authority tried their very best, used a lot of the money of the people in order to prevent the people of PRC to get the information from the media. The number of reporters that stay behind bar just for the free press, for the purpose of free press, is number one in China. There are about some 1.3 million websites were closed down during the year of 2012. Nevertheless, the lawyers in China, they were continuously partial and also arrested and sentenced to jail by the authority. Just one good example, a very prominent lawyer, Gao Zicheng, he is a lawyer for the case of Falun Gong. And he was arrested, he was tortured, He was threatened and he got 3 years imprisonment, but got a suspension of his sentence. But just before the anniversary of the Nobel Prize awarding of Mr. Liu Xiaobo, he was arrested again and sentenced to jail to serve the suspended sentence. His family need to flee to USA. So I think I don't need to speak too much to make you guys understand. There are urgency for the international community in support of the cause of democracy and workers' rights and freedom of assembly, freedom of expression in China. I'm also a good example. I am a legislator of Hong Kong, which is equivalent to the member of parliament in Hong Kong. I was not allowed to travel to China for over 2 decades. In 2008, I was invited by the Sichuan government, which is homeland of Mr. Zhang, after the earthquake. I got phone call from Sichuan. I got letters from Sichuan to complain about the corruption in Sichuan, who caused tens of thousands of lives in the earthquake. I was stopped from going to Sichuan just before I tried to do my check-in. It's a humiliation to the Hong Kong Legislative Council. And I think if I do the same thing as Mr. Zhang, if I am courageous like him, I will be in jail. So, cut it short. I know that there are more and more business relationships tied up among countries, Nordic country, Western country, to Chinese government. But I urge you people not to sacrifice the human rights, not to sacrifice the basic value of human mankind in order to get more business. The tyrant will not surrender, but we need to keep it in bay from time to time until the spring came. The winter had already emerged, so the spring will not be long anyway. So thank you very much for your patience.